In this video, we are going to discuss how to resolve user fatal message 7105. If after the video you have any comments, questions, feedback on how to improve my videos, if you are still struggling with error message on your end, feel free to email me. My email is below. I'll definitely get back to you. The user fatal message we are focusing on is user fatal message 7105. It says that the design constraint with ID 80004 cannot be found for DCONADD entry 3001. So let's go ahead and look at my web app and see if I can figure out what's going on. Number one, I have two constraints, R2 and R3 are defined here. The DCONADDs are used to create your so-called constraint groups. Right now, it's referencing label R3, which does exist, and it's referencing R4, which does not exist on my web app right now. So I must have mistyped the number there. It should have been a 2 there. Here on the right is the updated output. I'll just go ahead and take the DCONADD that's been modified. You'll notice that if I change the R2 to R4, that's when this 70,002 becomes 70,004. And then here, let me change that back to R2. You'll notice that this instantly changes back to 70,002. So let's go ahead and just copy this new DCONADD 30,001. This was the same DCONADD entry that was being referred to in the F06 file. On the right is my design model. I'll go ahead and find where I have the old DCONADD entry, and then I'll replace that with the new one I have. And just bear with me while I look at what I have here. And one thing I just did not catch right now, this was an older model I work with, so some of the design constraint IDs are off. You see that they say 80,002, but they are not pointing to the right ones here. So let me see if I can make the edit here. Right, so let's go ahead and just update all of these entries actually. So let me go ahead and move this file to the left. This is additional. This is just something I should have done before the video, but I'm taking time right now to do it now. 15,000. And then what is that? 20,000. And for displacement 2, that'd be the X and Y displacement for grid 4. Constraints are negative 0.2 and positive 0.2. And now let's go ahead and copy all of these entries, and let me go ahead and repeat what's going on here. Here on the left are the new entries we created. Here on the right are the old entries we had. And you notice that here on the left, the DCONADD 30,001 is referring to design constraint 70,003. Let me delete this. So 70,003 does exist, and that's why you see the green light up. And then 70,002 does exist also. But here on the right, you'll notice that the design constraints have different IDs. That's because I was doing this beforehand and I was using something different. So it's using 80,002 and 80,003. And the constraint group is not pointing to the correct IDs in this case. Here on the left, everything's correct, so I'll go ahead and copy these statements and carry those over to the right. And now if I perform this optimization, things should go perfectly now. Let's go ahead and do that. And while that's happening, let me point out what the original issue was. The original issue was this fatal message saying that for DCONADD entry 30,001, it couldn't find the constraint with ID 80,004. Originally, that was an issue with my labels. I forgot to label this R2 before I had it labeled R4. Since the label R4 doesn't exist in my web app and it doesn't exist in the design model, we have that issue. But once you correct that to label R2, the IDs are corrected in the output, and then I carry those over to this new design model here on the right. And now let's go ahead and open the new F06 file. The optimization is still occurring. But here, if I look at the F06 file, there is a lot more activity being registered, which is good because on the left, we have the analysis or optimization prematurely end. Let's go ahead and update this F06 file and look at the very end and see our new message is run terminated due to hard convergence. So this is indication that the optimization finally went through successfully and that the user fatal message is no longer there. If you're still struggling with this error message, I'm definitely here to support you. If the message is related to optimization, feel free to send me an email and I'll be more than glad to work with you on getting you up and running with optimization. Thank you for watching.